Prom and graduation season is here, which means parties and on some occasions the consumption of alcohol.
That's right. A mid-Missouri woman was seriously injured when a drunk driver hit her car head-on. KRCG 13's Elizabeth Hoffman has more on her story of true grit and determination.
It's been a long 4 years for Carey Portell. She was the victim of a senseless drunk driving accident. After several surgeries and hours of therapy, she's found a whole new way of life. But she's also found a way to use the accident to teach others about the seriousness of drinking and driving. When first meeting Carey Portell, she seems to be a lot like most mid-Missouri farm girls.
Usually they start frothing at the mouth because they think you're going to feed them.
But there is much more to this mom's story.
Yeah.
It was just 4 days after Christmas in 2010. Carey got off work and was headed to teach her Zumba class. Since their 4 kids were on Christmas vacation, her husband Greg called and suggested 2 of their daughters go along.
You know, you think back about it, and if I wouldn't have said, hey, why don't you pick up the kids, would she would have gone directly from work? Would things be differently?
But things weren't. On their way to town that bitter cold night, a truck met them on a hill.
And it takes you a second, you're just like, oh my God, it's on my side of the road.
Carey could tell he wouldn't have time to get back over.
You know, I saw him whipping back and forth, and he just couldn't get back over there. And, you know, within 2 seconds, you're just like, this is going to happen.
They were hit head-on at over 80 miles an hour.
I remember seeing lights flash, and I saw the sparks and everything.
Olivia was 12 and Mackenzie was just 10 years old.
I tried to scream, but nothing came out.
Both had injuries, but they were not life-threatening. Greg and Carey's dad arrived quickly on the scene. It was certain the girls would go by ambulance to a local hospital, but Carey's condition was much more serious.
At that point in time, I had to make a decision, and I had to say, you know, I got to leave Carey with her dad, and I got to go to the hospital with the girls.
The driver of the truck, Steve Happerman, was pronounced dead on the scene. His blood alcohol content was .265, over 3.5 times the legal limit. Carey was in the hospital for 10 days with a broken pelvis, 1 broken ankle, and 1 crushed ankle. She's since had 11 surgeries.
I was in a wheelchair for the majority of 16 months.
The entire family has been forever affected.
I was so proud of her, the way she handled everything the past few years. It was so difficult to watch her go through all of this, and it was probably the most amazing thing I've ever watched anyone do.
I feel very blessed that she's still here. She's still in my life, in our lives. You know, I'm extremely proud of the person that she is.
Carey has since made remarkable recovery.
So 2015, I feel like, is my year that I finally get to see what I can do.
And what she is doing now is what her family is amazed by. Carey started sharing her story with schools and organizations.
Maybe my voice will pop up and go, you know what, I don't want to do that to somebody else. I remember this lady coming to my school.
You know, it's just amazing that one, she's still here, but she's sharing her story. And I keep telling her this is her story. She can't fake this.
Carey's life may never be what it once was, but she says now the little things are so much more meaningful to her and her family.
You never think anything like that's ever going to happen to you. You know, I'm a good driver. I was just driving to town, and then bam, that happens. And then all of a sudden your life does a 180 and you're like, okay, we got to figure this out. And hopefully we can do it as a team. And so far we've been pretty good at that.
Carey still does some physical therapy on her own, but as of now, she needs no more surgeries. You can follow Carey's journey on her Facebook page, blog, or Twitter. We have those links on our website, connectmidmissouri.com.